And now, aviation weather around Alaska.
Thank you for joining us today on the aviation portion of this broadcast. Again, red denotes IFR conditions, which means that it's instrument flight rules, which means that it's lower visibility and lower ceilings, which are challenging for aircraft to fly in. So let's see our visibility across the state. Again, we have multiple low pressure systems in the Bering, which is going to cause widespread rain and low level clouds. So again, IFR conditions across much of the portion of the Bering. As we go up to the Arctic coast, we have high pressure in place, which is going to be causing widespread stratus and low level clouds. Further, as we go towards the Gulf of Alaska, we can see that low pressure system that's weakening in the area in front is going to be causing low clouds and ceilings across much of this region. As we go towards your Thursday afternoon, again, we're going to be seeing low clouds, some improvements along the coast due to some diurnal heating. But again, as we go up to the North Arctic, we are going to have some stratus and fog just off the coast as well. So be cautious in those areas. Finally, as we go to the Gulf of Alaska, we are going to see some improvements in the afternoon, but still some areas are going to be having lingering low clouds and stratus. As we go towards your Friday morning, you can tell we have widespread low-level clouds and lower visibilities across much of the Bering. Also, stratus again across much of the North Arctic coast for your Friday morning. But again, we still are going to see some improvements, but still some lingering low clouds associated with that frontal system across much of the Panhandle. Friday afternoon, we're going to be seeing widespread stratus and clouds across the Bering. We're also going to see low clouds, again, associated with that high pressure system, and some improvements across much of the Panhandle by Friday afternoon, but still on VRFR conditions, so be a little cautious. Let's take a look at all your passes across the region. Anaktuvuk Pass is going to be in VFR conditions. Aitken Pass is also going to be in VFR conditions. Lake Clark is going to start out at MVFR, but improving to VFR by the afternoon hours. Rainy Pass is going to remain in MVFR conditions throughout much of your Thursday. Windy Pass is going to be seeing VFR conditions. Isabel Pass is going to be seeing VFR conditions as well on your Thursday. Mentasta Pass is going to be remaining in VFR conditions for your Thursday as well. Tahitna is going to be having VFR conditions, but in the western part of the entrance, expect MVFR conditions Thursday. Portage is going to start out in IFR conditions. Remember that coastal stratus across much of the Gulf of Alaska, but some improvements to MVFR by the afternoon and improved conditions as you go towards the west entrance of the pass. Chilkoot and White Passes are going to be starting out at IFR conditions with improvements towards MVFR conditions by the afternoon hours. For Thursday morning, freezing levels are going to be much higher as you go towards interior areas where that high pressure ridge is in place. We're going to see warmer temperatures, so up to 10,000 feet, 8,000 feet across much of the interior. As you go further west, we're going to see in the Bering with those low pressure systems, freezing levels of about 6,000 feet and 4,000 feet with that dissipating low pressure system. Take a look at your icing risk for Thursday. Again, widespread isolated moderate associated with that low pressure system dissipating in the Bering and within the Gulf of Alaska as well. But we do have considerable moderate along the coast. We also in the interior, there could be some showers developing in the afternoon, which might also cause some icing concerns. So considerable moderate in interior locations. Looking at your jet systems, again, we have a low in the Bering. We also have a low south of the Alaska Peninsula. A low level, or the upper level jet associated with that is up to 105 knots. Meanwhile, we have about 80 knots across the Alaska range for your Thursday at upper levels. As we go down to 9,000 feet, we're looking at jets that are much weaker at about 35 knots. Some lingering winds about 35 knots towards the Brooks range on Thursday. But again, fairly calm conditions at 9,000 feet. It's calmer as we get even lower at 3,000 feet. Not too many jets associated with these low pressure systems. They're weakening. So again, fairly calm conditions at 3,000 feet across much of the state with that high pressure and ridge really in control. Let's take a look at your turbulence. We have a little isolated turbulence possible along the Brooks Range with that low-level jet. We also have associated with that low-pressure system in Alaska Peninsula and out into the Aleutian Islands. We do have some areas of considerable moderate turbulence, but again, fairly calm across the state over the next through Thursday.